Hello, boys and girls, and welcome back to art. We are now doing some virtual learning once again. So what I want to do is tell you about today's project. Today's project is going to take about 3 weeks to do. Now, if you do not have the art supplies today, do not worry. You can watch the video today, and then throughout the week you can gather some supplies and you can try to get part 1 finished. Now, I also want to tell you that in art, you can improvise. You do not have to use exactly the same stuff that I'm using, but it does help. So watch the video, see what I'm doing for part 1, and then you'll have a week until we meet again to get it done, okay? So here is what you need for part 1 today. I'm going to be using some plain white paper. If it's thicker, it's better, but I'm going to use thinner paper just to see how it works. I have some scissors, a pencil, and some glue, okay? I'm not sure which one I'm going to use. I think I'll probably end up using the glue stick. I'm also finding in my house something that's round, okay? Now here I happen to have a paper plate, but you can use a plate that's in your cupboard or the edge of a container or something that is round because you're going to be tracing it. Okay. All right. So boys and girls, I decided to make our project based around the shape of a cone. Now, a cone is a solid or a hollow object which tapers from a circular or roughly circular base. Now, we all know what a cone looks like. Basically, a pine tree is shaped like a cone. A gnome's hat is shaped like a cone. A traffic cone is the shape of a cone, okay? And one of the things I notice in art is kids have a hard time making a cone. So that's why I decided, let's use this as a learning day to make a cone to start. So here is how I make the cone. I take the plate, which is the round object that I'm going to use, because a cone starts out with a half of a circle. So if I pan you down here, I'm going to take my piece of paper, and I'm going to take my paper plate, find the middle of it. I think I'll turn my paper like that. Okay, just plop it down. And I'm going to trace half of my circle. Okay? Now that I have half the circle, I don't need the plate anymore, actually that's done. I'm going to cut out half of the circle, just like that. Now, with half the circle, I'm going to bring the two flat sides together and overlap them. And look at that. You got yourself a cone. Pretty cool, right? So I'm going to take the glue, and I hope my glue is still sticky. Yep. I'm going to throw some glue on the one side of the cone. And what you can do is you can figure out how wide you want your cone to be or how narrow you want it to be by sliding the edges back and forth. But I'm going to make mine about that size. And just like that. Alright, so now that you know how to make a cone, I would like you to try to make 3 cones that are the same size. So I just traced my circle 3 times, I cut it out, and I glued it. I actually cheated, I'll show you. I put a piece of tape. If you have tape, you can use tape too, boys and girls, okay? So now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna use a little tape, but if you have glue, you can certainly use glue, all right? And I'm gonna lay this dude down, just like that. And I think I will use glue here and then always go back with a little tape just to hold it. I'm gonna put a little glue, and you stick your first cone inside, but leave a space like that, see? And try to make it nice and even. And now I'm gonna do it one more time. And I like to move my finger and thin out that glue. put my last one in there like that. And I'm going to press it down. So you can see I glued all 3 cones together. It's flat on the back. And I think what I'll do is just to hold that, I'm going to take a little tape and just tape it. But you don't have to do that. I just did that so that way you can see. Okay, so now that you see the beginning part of the project, you just need 3 cones. You put them inside of each other, leaving a space, okay? You can make a couple of these, okay? I'm only gonna make one just because I'm showing you how we're gonna make the project, all right? But I think you could probably make 2 or 3 of these, okay? So get busy, make your cones just like this. So here's one set, and I think, you know, just for fun, I'll make 2 more so you can see. All right, so I made it 3 more times, and on my 3rd one, what I did was I decided to try it with just 2. Okay, so you can give that a try. So you have a lot of cones to be making, and get this part done, and that way next week I can show you part 2. You're probably wondering, Mr. Price, what are we making? Well, use your imagination and start thinking about what these can be turned into, okay? So, you have a lot of work to do. I hope you have fun making your cones and getting it set up for part 2, and I will see you next week. Have fun, boys and girls. Talk to you soon. Bye.